Hey everyone, welcome back to Andy and Anna Talks, the show where pixels meet philosophy, and we ask the questions that everyone's too afraid to feed into ChatGPT. Today's episode is going to ruffle some algorithmic feathers. The big question, will AI replace creative jobs?
It's a huge question right now.
Totally. I mean, you see AI creating art that looks like Van Gogh,
Yeah.
or these incredibly realistic video clips, almost Spielberg-esque.
Yeah, Sora generating video, MidJourney with the art. It's impressive.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, what does this mean for human artists, writers, musicians? Are we looking at a sort of robot takeover?
Or is there something uniquely human about creativity that AI just can't replicate?
Exactly. That's what we're going to dive into today. Where do we start? Maybe the visual side.
Sounds good. Visuals are probably the most, well, visible impact so far.
Okay, so tools like MidJourney, DLA, Stable Diffusion. You give them a text prompt, something simple like a lonely astronaut floating through a desert of time.
And boom, you get this incredible, often stunning image back.
But how does it do that? Is it thinking creatively?
Well, thinking is a strong word. These AIs are trained on just massive amounts of existing images and art. They learn patterns, styles, connections between words and visuals. So when it generates something new, it's often a very, very sophisticated remix of all that data it's learned.
A remix.
Yeah.
Okay. But isn't a lot of human art also kind of remixing? Artists borrowing styles, sampling music.
That's a really great point. There's definitely an argument that much of human creativity builds on what came before. Inspiration doesn't come from nowhere.
So is AI just doing that faster, more efficiently?
Possibly. But there's usually human intention, lived experience, a reason behind why a human artist remixes or references something. AI, well, it lacks that inner world, that personal perspective, for now, anyway.
Okay. So the output looks creative, but the process might be different. What about writing?
Yeah, language models are getting scary good. ChatGPT, Bard, Claude, they can write blog posts, ad copy.
Even poetry. I heard someone got ChatGPT to write a Shakespearean love letter to their dog.
Huh, did they? And was it any good?
Apparently it actually had some emotional weight. People felt something reading it.
See, that's the interesting part. These models analyze huge amounts of textbooks, articles, websites, and learn how language works, how emotions are expressed in writing, so they can mimic those structures and styles pretty convincingly.
But if it makes us feel something, does it matter that the AI itself isn't feeling anything? Like, isn't the effect on the audience what counts?
That's the million-dollar philosophical question, isn't it? If the art works, does the artist's inner state matter? Some say no, the impact is key. Others argue that true art needs that authentic intention, that human source.
Okay, and music. I've heard about AI composers now.
Definitely. Tools like Suno, AIVA, they're not just making generic background jingles anymore. They analyze musical theory, harmony, melody across genres, and they can generate some quite complex, even haunting compositions, as some people describe them, based on prompts about mood or style.
Haunting. From an AI. Wild.
It shows a deep understanding of musical structure, at least.
And then there's Sora.
Yeah.
Generating video from text. That feels like a game changer for film.
Oh, absolutely. The idea that you could type a scene description and get back a cinematic clip, it potentially bypasses cameras, crews, actors.
Someone joked online, R.I.P. Jeff's job. Jeff being their friend, the filmmaker.
Yeah, it's both exciting for possibilities and deeply concerning for many professionals in that industry. It's a huge leap.
So all this tech, MidJourney, ChatGPT, Sora,
Yeah.
it produces impressive stuff. But let's circle back. Is it really creative?
Right. Because we usually think of creativity as involving, human stuff.
Yeah.
Emotion, experience, suffering, even that why behind it all.
Yeah, AI doesn't have a painful breakup or feel joy or ponder its existence, does it?
Not in any way we understand consciousness, no. It doesn't have personal feelings or that internal drive born from lived experience.
There's that Nietzsche quote, right?
Yeah.
Something about having a why.
He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. It speaks to that human purpose, that meaning that often fuels our most profound creations. AI has the how, the technical ability, but lacks that intrinsic why.
Okay, but here's the counterargument. If the AI makes something that moves me, makes me feel something, does its lack of feeling actually matter? Are we just, like, gatekeeping? Saying only things made by suffering humans count as real art?
That's a fair challenge. If the end product resonates emotionally, maybe the source's internal state is irrelevant. Maybe we are holding on to a definition based purely on our own experience.
I watched this short film made by Sora. Visually, it was breathtaking,
Yeah.
seriously stunning.
Okay.
But when it finished, I just felt empty. Like it looked perfect, technically brilliant, but there was no soul. It felt hollow.
That hollowness, that's often the giveaway, isn't it? It suggests that lack of genuine human perspective or feeling behind the technical skill.
Yeah. We connect with the imperfections sometimes, don't we? Like hearing a singer's voice crack slightly during a live performance. Or Adele forgetting the lyrics that one time it made it more real.
Exactly. That vulnerability, that shared human experience. AI can't fake that convincingly. Not yet, anyway. Authenticity matters.
Okay, so philosophically it's complicated. But what about the practical side? The money, the jobs.
The economic shockwaves. Yes, those are already being felt. It's not theoretical anymore.
Like what? What are we seeing?
Well, stock photo sites, for one. Their business model is taking a hit because why buy a generic photo when you can generate a specific one with AI for cheaper or even free?
Makes sense. And graphic design.
Entry-level stuff, definite. Tools like Canva now have AI features built in, so small businesses or individuals can create decent-looking graphics without hiring a designer for basic tasks.
Right, and I've heard about copywriters. Their jobs are changing.
Yeah, the role is shifting. Instead of just writing copy, there's more emphasis on crafting the prompts to get the AI to generate the copy, becoming a prompt engineer.
Which might sound fancy, but does it pay the same? And is it the same skill?
Good questions. It's different. And then you have film studios actually experimenting with AI-generated screenplays.
Oh, really? Screenplays?
Yep, trying it out. Whether AI can actually write a compelling story with nuanced characters, that's the big unknown. Though I did hear someone suggest AI could be used to punch up human jokes.
An AI improving my jokes. I don't know whether to be impressed or insulted.
Both. But it's not all doom and gloom economically. Many creatives are using AI
How so?
as a tool for brainstorming ideas, for overcoming creative blocks, for generating variations or exploring styles they wouldn't normally try.
Okay, so more like an assistant.
Kind of. Think about when Photoshop first came out. Illustrators were worried. But it became an indispensable tool that expanded what they could do.
Or digital audio workstations for musicians. DW's changed everything but didn't kill music creation.
Exactly. Technology often transforms creative fields rather than wiping them out. Evolution, not extinction.
But who controls the tech matter?
Right. Hugely. If it's mostly mega corporations using AI primarily to cut costs by replacing people, that's one future. If it's widely accessible, empowering individual creators, that's a very different, potentially more positive future.
Control is key. Okay, so can I share a weirdly personal AI story?
Please do.
So I tried using AI to write lyrics for a breakup song, don't ask why.
Okay. Brave. What did you prompt it with?
Something like, write a sad song about getting ghosted after 2 dates, but still checking their social media. You know, standard Tuesday night stuff.
Yeah.
And came back with this line, I saw you streaming Coldplay at midnight. Guess I'm still not your fix.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's oddly specific and kind of poignant, algorithmic heartbreak to detail.
Right. It hit me. I actually felt a pang reading it. I was like, damn, AI.
So it worked.
Well, the lyrics read well, but then I tried to actually sing them, put some emotion into it.
Yeah.
It felt totally fake, completely hollow. The words were clever, maybe even moving on paper, but they weren't my feelings, my experience. It wasn't my pain.
There it is again. That disconnect between the technically proficient output and the lack of genuine lived source.
Exactly. It felt like the song was ghost-written by a ghost without a soul.
That's a powerful way to put it. It perfectly captures that difference we've been circling.
So where does that leave us? What's the human edge then?
I think it comes back to what you just described. True creativity, the stuff that really lasts, isn't just about being new or clever. It's about truth. It's about feeling.
It comes from our actual lives. The breakups, the joy, falling in love, failing, losing someone, even that embarrassing thing you did last week.
Precisely. All those messy, complicated, wonderful, terrible human experiences, that's the raw material AI doesn't have access to because it doesn't live.
But maybe AI can help us focus more on that stuff.
How do you mean?
Like if AI can handle the grunt work, the first draft, the filler copy, the basic background track maybe, that frees up human creators to focus on the deeper stuff, the concept, the emotion, the soul of the thing.
That's a really optimistic and I think plausible take. AI as the assistant that handles the mechanics, letting the human focus on the artistry, the unique vision.
So for everyone listening, maybe worried about their creative jobs,
Yeah.
the message isn't you're doomed.
Not necessarily, no, but it is you'll need to adapt. It's about learning how to work with these tools, sort of dance with it, not just compete against it.
Dance with the algorithm. Got it.
Because creativity isn't just generated in a vacuum. It needs context, culture, connection, things that are inherently human. Think about it. An AI can analyze millions of poems and write something that looks like a haiku about loss.
Okay.
But can it write a haiku like a human who just lost their beloved cat and is pouring real grief into those 17 syllables?
Wow, you and the oddly emotional cat metaphors today. But yeah, I get it. The feeling behind it is different.
Exactly. The source matters. So transformation, yes. Erasure, less likely.
But the big questions remain.
Will humans adapt quickly enough? And how do we make sure that the art we value still has that human soul at its core?
Heavy questions. Okay, that feels like a good place to pause this deep dive for today. Hopefully that gives you all some things to think about in this very fast-moving area.
We'd love to hear from you, actually. Have you used AI in your own creative work? What happened? Was it good, bad, heartbreaking?
Yeah, tell us your stories. Or maybe you think AI can eventually make better art than humans. Let us know.
We'll be back next week with another exploration. Until then, stay curious, stay human.
And maybe teach your AI to cry. Just a little.